Happy Wednesday, Storm Day, whatever. Actually, neither of those are true. In fact, before I tell you what day it actually is, aside from Friday, here's a question for you. Somebody else posed this on the chat a couple of days ago. Would you swap Declan Rice plus 30 million for Conor Gallagher and Broja, the Chelsea forward who's on loan at Southampton and looks really good? Would you? I thought it was a good question. I'm not giving you my answer yet. I haven't quite decided. But I thought it was good. Conor Gallagher and Broja plus 30 million. Anyway, before we go any further, this is, by the way, where is it? It's National Drink Wine Day. National Drink Wine Day, as if people need any encouragement. And the other thing it is, on February the 18th, is National No One Eats Alone Day, which is very, very nice. The great irony is, today is the one day of the week I will be eating alone because my kids are at their mum's. I don't care. I'll be naughty. I'll eat naughty things. And today is really, for me, you don't have to pretend that you like broccoli day because the kids aren't around day 18th. Anyway, West Ham news, West Ham gossip, all that type of stuff. And we'll start with Mikel Antonio. Mikel Antonio is involved in a podcast of some description. Now, on this podcast, Antonio has suggested that he's got a celebration planned for when he scores against Newcastle. Oh, God, what could possibly go wrong with that? I don't know. Apparently it's to mock Callum Wilson or whatever the case may be. I hope he scores. I mean, I'm desperate to see the celebration. I'm taking my son tomorrow. It was his birthday on Wednesday, on the 16th. So, which actually was his birthday and not Gumdrop Day or whatever it might have been. So we're going. Hopefully we see Antonio's celebration. I can't help but feel that he's jinxing it a little bit just by sort of saying that. Not a lot of news really. Ryan Fredericks has done an article explaining why he can't defend any attacks, which I thought was brilliant. And last night, by the way, the Rangers result against Borussia Dortmund. Why would we care? Well, the games that are being played out now in the Europa League will basically sort out who we're playing in the next round. So this is the first leg of obviously the two-leg tie. Rangers, they smashed Dortmund, didn't they? And I think that's absolutely brilliant. Not got anything against Dortmund. Dortmund are a good club. But Rangers, if you remember when myself and Gio had the conversation, have said who would you like to draw in the knockout round in Europe, I said I'd love to play Rangers. I really would. I think it'd be a massive tie. I think you would probably get big television money for it. I'd really like that one. But I never thought Rangers, I've got to be honest with you, I never thought Rangers would get through, particularly when they were drawn against Dortmund. They've got a real chance now. So that's going to be really interesting. Massively looking forward to that next knockout game that's in Europe. In terms of the okay, there's a number of stories. It's funny, actually, going back to Conor Gallagher and Declan Rice. Let's look at this article from Tribal Football, which basically says Chelsea call interest in West Ham star after Gallagher emergence, meaning they're calling their interest in Declan Rice. It says Chelsea are slowing down their pursuit of West Ham star Declan Rice. They've nicked it from the Evening Standard, which is fine. I've nicked it from them. They nicked it from the Evening Standard. Maybe someone will nick it from me. You never know. No one really owns a story, do they? It basically says Thomas Tuchel sees the promising youngster as an option, as an alternative to bring Rice back. I don't think. I'm not sure how much I believe that. I actually believe this might be a little bit of naughtiness, a little bit of negotiating from Chelsea to try and bump up Conor Gallagher's value for the precise reason that I said at the start of this, because I think there might be a player exchange going on. They're not the same player. Let's be fair. You would compare Conor Gallagher more to a Kai Havertz, wouldn't you? He doesn't do the job. Let's be fair. When the left back runs up the pitch, Conor Gallagher ain't going to be dropping back in at left back like Declan Rice does for us. He's not going to drop in at centre half. He's not going to do the sort of things he does. Yes, the attacking forward runs, he'll do that, but Declan does that from a deeper position. I don't see them as a similar player at all. So this is interesting that this stuff's coming out now. I'm really interested in this as a story and where it goes, actually. There's 2 or 3 of them from different sources, actually. There's another story as well saying David Moyes must axe Vladimir Soufal versus Newcastle. Well, myself and Gio go into that quite extensively in the preview, which hopefully you've already seen. Preview to the Newcastle game. I completely agree. It's quite funny to see an opinion piece on here actually, and that's on the Football Fancast. Yeah, I mean I have to agree. He's got to sort out that Soufal situation. Before we go any further, this video is sponsored by Manscaped. Now I've got a surprise for you here. You're used to me telling you about the lawnmower. I do actually use this. I've got to be honest. I think it's meant for your pubes, but I use it on my face. And there's a sentence I never thought I'd ever say. This one's for the Utah. That's the weed whacker. That's the lawnmower. That's the weed whacker. But what Manscaped have also done is they brought out a cologne. Well, they say cologne. I call it aftershave. Eau de toilet. It comes in a very lovely box, but that's not what we want to know. Can you see that? Sorry, the light's not great for this, as I said yesterday. Look at that. It's not just a box. How's it smell? How's it sniff? Lovely is the answer. Absolutely lovely. Going to be giving one of these away next week. In fact, we'll be giving more than one away. One's going on Patreon. One's being given away elsewhere. Probably on there. Anyway, if you want any of this wonderful Manscaped gear, you get, just because you watch Hammers Chat, you get 20% off. All you got to do is when you go, click the link below or just Google Manscaped. Discount code is Hammers Chat. All one word. All one word, Hammers Chat. Oh, the toilet. Very, very nice. Sorry, I'm not... I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking. It's very nice. Okay, so Conor Gallagher. Alan Pardew's had some very nice things to say about West Ham. This is something that sort of sticks in the throat. This one actually genuinely does. Is West Ham United flop sensationally targeted by Munich. By Bayern Munich. So basically, Haller to replace Lewandowski. I think it is a real... he's done an awful lot right, David Moyes. An awful lot right. He really has. But I think one of the things where you would probably look at him and say you should have perhaps shown a little bit more flexibility there was getting a tune out of Haller. Clearly, he is a quality player. He is a quality operator. And the fact that Bayern Munich might want him to replace Lewandowski says it all. And here's the thing. I don't look at that and think this is just one of those rubbish stories. I believe it. I actually believe that because I think he's that good. And it's a bit of a slight. It's not exactly a feather in David Moyes' cap, is it, that he couldn't really get a tune out of him. He should have been able to make that work. Maybe not long term, but the fact that we got rid of him, we still haven't replaced him, and we're suffering as a result. Would have liked to see more flexibility. Terrible business. £45 million, and we sell him for 20, with no sell on, no kick on. I mean, all round, bad business. I don't know why we didn't get a sell-on clause just in case it's happened. I've no idea at all. Jared Bowen's dreaming big of a West Ham Barca Europa League tie. I think they drew. I think they possibly drew last night, actually, Barcelona. Look, I'd love that as well. Can you imagine Barcelona at the London Stadium? And then, obviously, little old West Ham at the Nou Camp. That would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to see that, very, very much so. We've been linked again with Rasmus Christensen. The other thing is, somebody said in a video yesterday they were looking forward to me trying to pronounce a player's name. I already tried, all right? Ola Aina. Now, he, if you remember, is the fullback I discussed. He's a Nigerian fullback, plays for Torino. This is an article, just goes on and says we are interested in him. So are Crystal Palace. We've already covered that. Apparently the deal would be about £8.5 million, and this article is all about us finally being able to axe Arthur Masuaku if we bring this 25-year-old Nigerian left back in. We knew we were going to need a lot of players next summer. Every time I read one of these, I can't help but think we are just going to need an awful lot of players. And by the way, I've had a couple of complaints. Basically saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing these videos? There was one really rude comment on the video yesterday. I don't want to overly concentrate on that, but I just want to say, don't watch it. Just don't watch it. We're just doing the West Ham news every day. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have a little bit of a laugh with the National Gumdrop Day and everything. If it's triggering you, if you're finding yourself in a rage, and you were, by the way, you were in a rage, don't watch it. Switch it off. I'm not actually in your house speaking to you. Just switch it off. On the flip side, the wonderful, wonderful comments on Ron's video yesterday, by the way. I mean, absolutely blown away by them. I want to do a follow-up on the video because so many of you shared your own personal stories. Not just your own personal World War II stories pertaining to West Ham, and there were lots of them, but also, you know, sort of second and third generation, baby boomer generation, people that you're telling your grandparents' stories, you're telling your mums and dads' stories, and there are some wonderful ones. I'm going to do a follow-up on it. I also just want to say thank you to Ron's granddaughter, Sarah, who messaged to say that the family had watched the video. If you haven't seen it, please go and watch it. It's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. It's, you know, an unexpected video, and I'm really I'm surprised how well it was received, and thank you so much for all your wonderful comments. I think they're absolutely brilliant. Hopefully, I have read every single one up to now. I know there's more coming in, and replied to as many as I can. And some of those individual stories I would like to cover and put them all in one video. You know, just how much certainly the war not impacted West Ham as a whole. But it impacted us fans and our families and everyone sort of surrounding West Ham and the area, and in the Blitz in particular. There was one particular bit in Ron's letter when he sent me, which was the programme and the team sheet, which would say A and other, because they didn't know which West Ham players were out fighting, basically. I don't mean fisting, obviously fighting in the war. So they didn't know what the composition of the team would be. And that was, you know, I felt it was a really important thing to state. That, you know, it's amazing, isn't it, how, you know, so much of the football, I know it didn't keep going all the time, all the way through the war, but, you know, bearing in mind the break that we had because of COVID, just how resilient, you know, football was, and the fans were, and the teams were, and the players were, and the fact that you would go and fight in war and then come back and play a game of football. Different breed, honestly, totally different breed. Anyway, there you go. There's your West Ham news for today. Let me just have a little look, make sure I haven't missed anything. I don't think so. No, that's it. We've dealt with it. Bowen, Pardew, Antonio's celebration. Let me know though. Broja, Conor Gallagher, plus 30 million for Declan Rice. Are you accepting it, or are you not accepting it? Right, I'm off to eat dinner on my own, while smelling very, very nice.